Hello, hello. First time I'm going live on YouTube. I'm going to get my Facebook going too. I'm going to try to multitask here. What is happening? I'm going live on YouTube and on Facebook. See if I can manage both of these. I don't know. We'll see. So really, I just wanted to come on and chat. Just kind of say hey and talk about a couple of wellness topics that I think are really important. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better, right? Facebook and YouTube going both at the same time. Just put a post on my on one of my Facebook groups. Actually, it might have been my personal Facebook account. Anyway, a lot of people right now are working out at home, right? And let me do this with Facebook. Sorry if I make you sick. I'm just going to move you to right here. That way I'm looking at both of you at the same time. Anyway, so a lot of people are working out at home right now. We see all of these home workouts, right? We see all these home workout programs. And I put this post out and basically just said this: working out at home is great. Keep doing it. Burpees are not a good choice for exercise. They're just not. Burpees are a horrible exercise. I don't like them. Number one, I'm not good at them, but I don't like them. And there's a couple of reasons why I don't like them. But the most important thing is the risk reward is pretty poor, the risk reward ratio. It's very easy to hurt yourself doing burpees. And then you have to think, what's the goal? What's the goal of a burpee? Is it to get your heart rate up? There's a lot better options than that. A lot better options. Is it to improve cardiovascular fitness? Many better options. Okay, going for a walk, riding the bike, pushing a sled, doing bodyweight squats are all better. Okay, they're all better than a burpee. Then we look at the components of a burpee, right? Squatting all the way down to the floor, putting your hands down, kicking your feet back, feet up, and then back up. Right. Now, if you're already good at them, have at it. A lot of people have problems with their wrist, right? Getting that wrist flexibility. I mean, even doing that for a lot of people can be tough. Then you add in the component of trying to do it fast, and you're looking for problems. So if you're working out at home, pick something other than burpees. Period. And if you have a trainer that is advising you to do burpees, ask them for a better solution. Just ask them for something better, because those are not good options. Okay? And if they disagree with it, tell them to come talk to me. Would love to talk to them about it. Why they're programming burpees, why they think burpees are good. Now, yeah, no equipment needed. Can really elevate the heart rate, but again, there's better options. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and really for Facebook, I'm trying out YouTube Live at the same time. So I really wanted to just practice getting on and doing that. There is a big component that a lot of us are going through right now, big component of health and wellness that a lot of people aren't addressing, okay? And it could be the downfall of our health, and that's stress. A lot of us right now are under a lot of stress, especially the doctors and medical professionals. I think the doctors, they don't get enough credit. They just don't. I'm very close to one doctor, but they don't get enough credit for what they're putting themselves through. We know the nurses are, right? But the doctors are often overlooked, and they shouldn't be. They're under stress. You are under stress because you're working, taking care of other people. Maybe you're taking care of kids at your house. One thing that I would recommend and very strongly advise is try to not make this period of time a time where you're very, or a time where you're not trying to lose weight aggressively. Okay. When you are trying to lose weight, that is very stressful on the body. It's very stressful mentally, right? If you're doing that in a stressful situation like we are right now, that can lead to poor situations. So try not to do that. The thing that I would advise to try to combat that and try to approach that is just try to make good decisions, right? Let's eat some good protein. Let's eat some vegetables throughout the day. But if you have an extra glass of wine or four, don't beat yourself up. If you have a gin and tonic, don't worry about it. If you have a beer, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. If you go out to eat and you're picking up the food and bringing it home, obviously, and you eat the whole bag of chips, that's okay. Because if you beat yourself up and pile on top of yourself, right, that can lead to bad things. Let's worry about the weight loss later, okay, when you're not under heavy stress, okay? So I hope that helps. If you've got questions, let me know. My kids are taking a break for another 15 or 20 minutes before I crack the whip on them again. No, I'm kidding. So I wanted to also come on here and just do a little bit of Q&A. If anybody's got any questions, I'd love to help. But the big thing is don't stress. Do not stress yourself out. Okay? We're all under stress as it is. Don't add to it by trying to lose a bunch of weight. Maintain what you got. Maintain it. That's the best course of action right now, besides obviously washing your hands and doing all that stuff. Staying away from each other. Get away from each other. Don't add stress to your life, especially right now. Especially right now. Anybody got any questions? I'm going on YouTube and Facebook Live right now. Trying to, at least. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Not doing Instagram Live right now, but that's okay. Anybody got any questions? Three things that you can really help when you're talking about stress levels, right? Number one, trying to get enough sleep. And these first two kind of go hand in hand, but take your phone and try to set it down so you can't see the news, you can't see social media, so you can actually get some good sleep. That's going to help with your stress, okay? Drinking enough water, adding some water in is going to help with stress. We know the other things, eating good protein, meat or, meat alternatives if you're vegetarian or vegan, eating enough vegetables, which really you can't eat enough of. Those are two big components, and getting exercise, we know that. But getting some good quality sleep right now, when it's very easy to sit down or lay down in your bed and start scrolling social media and reading all of the negative things that are going on right now, I think that it would be in your best interest to set those away, right? And then obviously every day, come on at 11 o'clock and work out with my kids and I. But that's some things that you can do right now to combat that stress and take care of that. So what questions do you all have? I see there's a couple people on. I can't really see who actually is on. It's weird. Sometimes I can see who's on and sometimes I can't. Sometimes it shows me. But I'd love to answer questions. Kind of open it up, maybe do an FAQ or a Q&A. Q&A, if you've got one. I may start doing this daily. If that would help, come on and just talk a little bit about something wellness related every day that's not like my Monday meetings. I'll be happy to do that. I can do it on YouTube and Facebook Live, because interaction is very important right now. Interact with me. No, I'm just kidding. Interaction is really, really important. So if I can answer questions, let me know. I'll just continue to talk. But I know, a couple things that have helped. Getting that movement in every day. Oh, yes. Okay, so all right. So Katie, first, okay, here's what I would do. Reintroducing sugar. Yeah, we all look forward to sugar. You're on the right track. I would add it back in with some kind of protein source. And here's why, for a couple of reasons. If you're adding it in back with protein, you can't really overeat protein. Protein's got a bad rap. Eating too much is bad for you, or whatever. If you have kidney problems, yes, talk to your doctor about that. But you can't really overeat on protein. And there's a couple of ways to think about that. If I put 5 boxes of Oreos in front of you, or if I put it in front of me, I'm clearing them out, right? I'm eating all of them. But if I put 5 chicken breasts in front of me, it's gonna be very hard for me to eat all of it, right? So yes, adding it in with a good protein source is awesome. And eating that protein source first would be very, very beneficial. The other thing is make sure your water is adequate. Typically, we find that if you're hydrated well enough, your cravings kind of go down, right? And then also the third tip that I would say, and all of this is this, right? It's just good to hear it sometimes. The third piece that I would really look at is whatever you want. Like let's say it's an Oreo or a Reese's peanut butter cup. Those are my favorite, right? If you're really trying to work on it and really trying to look at it, eat one and then set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes before you eat the next one. When that timer goes off and you really want it, you still really want it, eat it. But if you don't, set it aside, put it back in the refrigerator. Something like Reese's peanut butter cups in the refrigerator are fantastic. But put it back up, and in that 15 minutes, you've gotten busy, maybe reading a book or drinking some water, going on a walk. You've done something to get out of that habit, out of that routine, right? A lot of times it's like me, for example, if I go into my pantry at night as I'm putting the dogs up and closing the pantry so our cat won't get into it, if I get out of the habit, if I don't walk all the way into the pantry, then I won't grab something to eat. So I don't even go in the pantry. I just shut the door and I turn around and walk away, right? So yeah. Now, sleep. How much do you recommend? All right. All of it. All the sleep. But truthfully, it's generally recommended 7 to 9 hours, right? For most adults. Hard to get sometimes because you've got work, you've got commitments, right? There's two ways to find out how much sleep you need. There's one good way to find out how much sleep you need, and this is almost impossible for most of us to do. But the best way to find out how much sleep you need is to go away for a week, okay, maybe up to the mountains, in a cabin or something like that. No electronics, no outside city kind of lights, right? And black the curtains out, lay down in bed, no phones, nothing electronic. You go to sleep, you wake up whenever you wake up. Do that for a week, and then you kind of average out how many hours you slept each night. That's about how much you need. That is almost universally impossible for most adults to do, right? It just is, even when you're on vacation. So what I recommend generally is about 7 hours. That's a good goal to shoot for. Now, the second part of that recommendation of 7 hours is really The same thing when we're talking about exercise, same thing when we're talking about nutrition. It's consistency. So I would rather you get 5 hours every single night than 7 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, 5 hours. I don't want it to look like this. I want it to be as consistent as possible. So if that consistency means you're getting 6 hours every single night, that's what we want. We don't want to throw your body into, this confusion standpoint of every weekend I'm sleeping for 8 hours, but during the week I'm sleeping for 4. So just try to keep it consistent. But if you can hit 7, that, would be really, really beneficial. More sleep you have, or more sleep you're able to get on a consistent basis, less stress, right? More recovery. Generally, you're going to crave food less because you're not in a stressed out situation. Okay. So we see through a lot of studies, the more you're able to consistently keep that sleep pattern, the more lean body fat, the more body fat you're going to lose, the more lean muscle mass you're going to at least retain. So I hope that helped. Those are 2 great questions. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Really, we're just talking about stress management right now through nutrition and exercise, sleep. Stress is something right now that is affecting all of us, no matter what line of work or home situation you've got going on. Some of us, are trying to work and manage kids at the same time. Some of us are trying to work in a different environment than you're used to. So stress, and then some of us can't work. So the financial component is stressing us out. So there's a lot of stressful situations going on right now. So we really need to try and mitigate that as much as possible through good sleep patterns and good nutrition and movement. And don't get complicated with the movement. I was talking earlier, burpees, no, don't do burpees unless you are already fantastic at them and you like them. Although I've never really met anyone who likes burpees. There's a first time for everything, but I've never met somebody who likes burpees. So I don't know. Anybody else have any questions? I might look into doing this every day during my kids' downtime, where they're kind of watching a movie or watching something on TV or relaxing. We're gonna go outside here in a minute, get some vitamin D, and we've got some reading time later. Thankfully, my son loves to read, and he's had some wonderful teachers, but he loves to read. So we're going to have some reading time, and after we go outside, that's going to help with stress. I'm going to get off of my phone for a little while. I'm going to set it down, and really try to unplug, because that's another thing that I've noticed, and I've noticed a lot right now, is we all know this, but you may be seeing this even more. Your kids are going to mirror what you do. And it's even more important right now. If you are stressed, they are going to be stressed. They oftentimes don't know how to handle it, especially the young ones. As I'm getting more into the daily exercise that we're doing every day, really focusing on that 10 and under group, they need an outlet. They need something to do to help combat that stress. And the more that you are stressed, they don't know how to handle that. So putting your phone down, grabbing a book, getting on the floor, wrestling with them, that's going to help so much, because they know what's going on, but they don't really know what's going on. They're not able to process it as much. So make sure if you're able to, and now I'm talking to the moms and dads, no matter what age group your kids are, if you're able to get on the ground or, and wrestle with them or just love on them some. Make sure you're doing that. It'll help them a lot. I promise. And it'll help you too. I mean, how many times have you been really, really stressed, upset about something you don't really know, and someone walks up to you and they just give you a hug, right? And you don't want the hug, you don't need the hug, but you go ahead and let it happen. And you're hugging for a little while, and then slowly but surely, that stress, that tension just kind of melts away. You feel so much better afterwards. Your kids need that too, or the kids in your household need that too. So do that. Please do that. Grab them right now. I'm gonna grab them after I get done. And I'm gonna give them all a hug, even if they don't want me to. And if they don't want you to, what you do is you start hugging them, and then you start use one of your hands that's around the back, and you just start digging in that armpit and start tickling them a little bit. It works so well. Do that. But yeah, stress right now. Don't go into, so 3 topics, three main things today, and I'll leave unless anybody else has more questions. Let's really, okay, so burpees are bad. Don't do burpees. There's other better options: walking, squats, etc. Let's try to mitigate that stress by sleeping adequately and loving on each other. And then number 3, don't add on to the stress by trying aggressively to lose weight right now. If you're losing weight, great. I'm not telling you to stop, but just be mindful of how aggressive you are being with trying to lose weight, okay? Because all that's going to do is add to the stress, and we don't want to do that, okay? So if anybody has any questions, let me know, and I'll come back on tomorrow. I'll start doing this. I love going live. Gives me something to do. I love answering questions. I'm going to keep doing this on Facebook and YouTube, try to build up my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed there, Chris Gooden Fitness, go subscribe. And I will talk to you all later. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the morning at 11 o'clock Eastern time. 10 minutes worth of exercise with your kids. Come join us. Love you all. Bye.